All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on Facebook, 1010XL's Facebook page. Hello, Facebook. And we're streaming on the relevant app, the group messaging chat app with live real-time conversations via our podcasting and interactive chat platform. One-touch technology. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out, highly recommend you do. It's a free download, and you get it at the Apple Store or on Google Play. I would like to officially say and welcome in a sponsor to the podcast. It's Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Making sure you check them out. GoodfellasJacks.com, located on St. John's Bluff Road. I've been there a few times now. It reminds me of old Chicago. It reminds me of like a jazz blues. Now, granted, it's a cigar lounge. They got live entertainment. They got drink specials. They got a pool table. It is top of the line. And you don't feel like you're in a cigar bar. You're just in a big lounge that allows smoking, basically. And, man, it's a lot of fun. Just south of Beach Boulevard on the east side of St. John's Bluff Road. Make sure you check out Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Memberships, live music, great nights out. Open till 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. It's a kick-ass place. And by the way, the owner, my friend Scott, this is his hat. He's got the same head size as I do. He's like, you got to try on my hat. I did. He's like, oh, bro, you got to wear the hat. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I got a ton more. You keep that one. So thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. But great to have Goodfellas Cigar Lounge here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. What up, Graham? How you doing, dude?
I'm good, man. How are you?
How's life treating you?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Even better now that I've heard of Goodfellas Cigar Lounge to come take my buddies and hang out.
You got to check it out. No, it's cool.
Absolutely.
It's cool, man. It's good. They got some great talent there.
I don't smoke enough cigars because I love cigars, but I love cigars.
You know what's funny? I don't smoke cigars at all. I don't go there to smoke the cigar, but you can get a great membership there. They got lockers. They got all types of stuff. I mean, I love the atmosphere. It's cool. Cool place.
I've probably only smoked cigars probably less than 10 times in my life. Yeah. But every time I've done it, phenomenal. I've loved it every time.
Yeah, I like dipping it in a little cognac and then sucking and smoking at the same time. You know, kill two birds with one stone.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely check them out. They'll be open tonight till 2 a.m. You'll have a good time. I had my wife in there not too long ago. All right, we'll get into Jags talk in just a moment. Look around the National Football League. I got to start out. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. But I saw the podcast with Jalen Ramsey complaining about Coughlin. And, look, Tom maybe didn't handle it the right way. I think that's fair to say. But I know this about Tom Coughlin. If you cared as much about winning as a team as he did and not about winning as an individual, there would have never been a problem. You want to drive up in a Brinks truck and act like an ass? You know what I mean? And that's what it was. It was stupid. You cared more about yourself, your individual success more than the team. It triculated to other guys on the team. Again, Tom could have handled some things better, but for Jalen Ramsey to sit there and complain that Tom Coughlin didn't want a relationship, that's a bunch of crap. He wanted a relationship with a young man that was committed to winning, not just committed to his brand and all that stuff, but committing to the team winning. I love Jalen Ramsey as a player. I wouldn't have let him walk out the door. I would not have. I would have figured, I'd have paid him early. I would have just paid him early and said, you know what? You're that good. I don't care. After your second year, I see how good you are. Here's your money. Whatever. Obviously, that didn't happen. Then Blake got his extension. That pissed him off. I get it. I just wouldn't have ever let that happen, but whatever. Crying about Coughlin still. It just shows what kind of a baby. You quit on your team. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even have brought it up, but to me, you sound like a little whiny baby when you do those things. I don't know what your problem is. Again, great on the field, but kind of, I don't know, a little weak off the field. I would imagine. Bobby Wagner to the Rams. It's funny. He's 31. He can't play. Guy had 170 tackles last year. The guy's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. No, he can play.
He's like one of the best linebackers still in the game. They'll be bitching him. Oh, why would you give him that money? Hey, man, he's got a lot to do to make that money. Will he even play the 5 years? That would be 36, maybe, if he can stay healthy. But are you kidding me? That guy's one of the most active, most prolific, most production as an inside linebacker that you've seen. 10 years in the league, 8 as a Pro Bowler. 8, including last year.
For me, the question is not why would you pay him all that money. I would absolutely pay him the money.
Yeah.
For me, the question for the Rams is how.
Well, you let Von go. Von's out. You haven't re-signed OBJ. You restructured.
But still, you're paying Matt Stafford. You're paying Cooper Kupp. You're paying Jalen Ramsey. You're paying Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Like, you got some expensive deals, dude.
We just went over it on Jaguars today. Dempsey was saying, he's like, Arnold's at like his cap this year, $26 million. Ramsey, 23. Cooper Kupp, 19. Stafford, 13. And then it goes to 9, and then it goes on from there. So they must fit it in somehow. Well, that's the thing. I mean, people see, it's $50 million. It's not $50 million this year.
No, yeah, that's true.
I mean, the way they cap his cap, we figured out it's going to be like $7 million this year. You do that all day long.
The Rams have been smart too because you
do it all day long for a guy.
A lot of these big deals they've paid have been long deals.
Yeah,
and dude, with the cap going up each year the way it is, in a couple years, these deals aren't going to be nearly as expensive as what they look like right now.
Agreed.
So they are masters of manipulating the cap. They just paid Allen Robinson too.
Yeah, you know how to do it. You give them a low base salary. You give them this big signing bonus. Only part of the signing bonus counts for that particular year. It's based off the numbers, right? So you look at Bobby Wagner, right? You pay him $1 million, and then say his signing bonus is, I don't know, say it's $25 million. Let's just say, I don't think it's that high, but let's just say it is. Over 5 years, that's $5 million a year on the cap. What's your cap for this year? $6 million.
Right.
You do it all day long for a player like that. You find a way.
You can find a way, dude. Absolutely, bro.
No doubt. Malcolm Jenkins retires. Congrats, Malcolm. Great career. Philadelphia and the New Orleans Saints. 13 years. Just a great player. I would have loved to play with a guy like that. He was all about football, man, and had a phenomenal career. Won a couple Super Bowls. Good for him. Jerry Jones. Jerry. What you been doing, Jerry? Well, I met this flight attendant way back when. He's got some interesting stuff happening with him, with a daughter, I think. And he's been paying this daughter for years and years, and I don't know what's going on, but Jerry Jones find himself a little extracurricular time, I guess. That was way back when, of course, but I'm sure there's plenty of that out there in the National Football League amongst the owners who just came off their NFL owners meetings. Doug Peterson was down and was asked a couple things. Peterson said something very interesting to me. We're going base 3-4. We're staying base 3-4. Now Mike Caldwell, defense coordinator, is going to mix it up, different fronts and whatnot, which tells you a lot, I think, because we're all worried about who are they going to take in the draft, who are they going to go with. I know who I'm taking, and it's Neal. I'm taking Neal. I think you look at him at his position, he's better at his position than Hutchinson is at his. Thibodeau, I'm a little I mean, it's funny too. Like we're talking on the air, like Herbert coming out of Oregon, Thibodeau coming out of Oregon, both head cases, right? One's introverted, one doesn't. It's just like that. Just seems weird. Like why out of one school you finding that? And they were wrong about Herbert. I mean, you kidding me? You might have taken him number one.
I could not have been more wrong about Justin Herbert.
Oh, they were totally wrong.
Dude, I didn't think he'd be good at all. I thought because that draft, the two QBs were Tua and Herbert after Burrow. Burrow was going one, we all knew that, but Tua and Herbert were the next two guys.
No, right.
I would have taken Tua before Herbert all day.
Yeah.
I could not have been more wrong.
Yeah.
That's one where I'm just like, yep, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
You look at Herbert like you do Josh Allen. When Josh Allen got drafted by the Bills, you're like, what? Look at all the picks. And
they got destroyed for that draft.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Take
absolutely
him all day long. And so, look, if Thibodeau didn't have this so-called, he's a head case, you may take him number one. His upside is tremendous. And if you're going to play a 3-4, you put him outside of Josh Allen here in the Jags, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Neal and then Jermaine Johnson. Well, word is Johnson's going to be gone. He's not going to be there at 33.
He's going top 20.
Top 15.
Top 15, top 20,
He's seen a 14. But nonetheless, that was interesting. Then Arden Key gets signed, 1-year deal. Hey, you know what? The guy can play. He can play. You saw him on San Fran. Smaller guy, it's 240 pounds, but is 6'5". Most of his sacks have come from inside. At 6.5 last year, his best year. He's a young guy. I mean, he's still very, very young. I like it. Talk about that cap hit. That's worth it there. And how they structured that. He got a little bit up front, roster bonus, workout bonus, light, base salary. Are you still going to go after a passer? Yeah, you are. That doesn't change my mind there. Hutchinson just concerns me. I don't see. Bucky Brooks says he's going to be dominating. I don't see that. I don't think he's got enough moves to be dominating. Now, could he develop moves? Yeah, could. But is he my 3-4 outside backer or is my 3-4 DN? He's not big enough really to play that 3-4 DN, I don't think. I don't know. I'm going tackle. I just am. I look, and okay, I know the Cam situation. Well, he didn't sign the tag yet. What if they get him to a 3 or 4 year deal? I'm still taking Neal. And I'll just say this. Why? Because I want the 5 best out there, period. And right now, we don't have a left guard. We got a left tackle. We got a right guard. Shatley, we believe, will be the center unless they draft someone younger. I like Lindstrom out of BC. I'm a little biased, but he is a very good player. You got Scherf.
Even if you drafted somebody at center, you'd have to think you'd keep Shatley,
right away.
let him develop.
Can handle it. There's no doubt. Shatley may be similar to Kelsey. I'm telling you that. Peterson may look at him like that. That kind of mobile type, center that they like having. And then you got Scherf, and then you've got either Little or Taylor. So here you're sitting there, all right, so just say center's out of it unless you draft a center like Lindbaum really high. Maybe he's your guy all of a sudden. But let's just take center out of it right now. Would you not take either Cam at left tackle and either Neal or Little at left guard, Shatley, Scherf, and then Neal or Little at right tackle? That's a pretty damn good offensive line to me, and I don't care about you don't draft a guy to play guard. Well, I'm not. I'm drafting him because he's the best player in the draft, and I just love offensive linemen. That's why you draft him.
And he's eventually going to play at the worst right tackle. Yeah, he's probably going to play left eventually.
Well, think about this: what if Little could play guard? Great, let him play guard. And there's nothing wrong with him playing guard as a second-round pick. You take guards in the second round all day long. So who cares? So it'd be interesting. I look, again, let him compete, but I think you need to add. I got nothing against. I like Ben. I think Ben Barch is a good player. I think Will is a fine player too. But I want them as my guys ready to go.
They're your depth pieces.
Ready to go. I need something more at that left guard. I got the right guard. He's a mauler. I need another mauler. You know what I mean? And then if whoever that tackle and guard combo is, man, you got something there. And then you can address the other positions. You can. I mean, I don't know. You see the kid from Georgia, Walker, looking like you never know with smoke screens. They're not mentioning Thibodeau, which tells me they're talking about him. They haven't, they're not even talking about him. So who knows? It's going to be fun. Either way, and we do have to get a receiver. Do you take him with 33? I don't know. Hutchinson he worries me. And I don't think he's a 3-4. If anything, he's a 4-3 D end. You line him up on the outside and maybe he gets up to 280. Maybe he's just a solid end for you, which I think he can be. But we're not looking for a run-stuffing defensive end. We have one in Roy Robertson Harris. I mean, that guy, I'm taking him. I love him. He's a great player. We need productivity in that backfield. And I just don't know if Hutchinson's got the goods to be a dominant force in the back. Thibodeau on the outside is a 3-4. Him and Key, throwing Smoot. I think Chason, I've been saying it for years, he's out of position. Move him inside. Move him. You can move him around, but let him run some games with those defensive linemen up front. He's not an outside guy. He's an inside guy. If you play a little 4-3, which it doesn't sound you're going to, but if you do, maybe he's a Sam. Chason's too athletic. He can run. He's big. He likes to play. He's just not a pass rusher. And let's be honest, they forced him. Never understood that. Well, he's got to play there. Like, what? You drafted a rookie to play a position that he never played before because Ngakoue took off. Like, that never made sense to me. Like, put him in his position where he's going to thrive. Guy didn't even know what he was doing for the first 8 games of his rookie season.
What made no sense? What made no sense to me there was that, by all accounts, what we've heard about that whole deal, is they were in love with him. Before the draft. There were talks that if C.J. Henderson was gone at 9, they were going to take him at 9. They loved him that much. They loved him so much that the minute they drafted him, they wanted him to play something else.
Right.
To your point.
No, right.
Makes no sense.
No, definitely.
Why would you be so in love with this guy that you're going to put him at a different position?
Never played that into college.
Has never
always
played
off
that.
the line in the middle.
And then you're going to refuse to put him anywhere else. And I completely agree with you.
He's got too much speed and athleticism and size to not be on the field. You got to find the position for him, I think, and make sure he's a part of that rotation. But look, I just think you solidify the O-line by drafting Neal. Then it's not as much. Is it a question mark still? Okay, because he's a rookie, I get it. But you mitigate that risk to me. He's going to be real. I think he could be special. I think he's that good.
I do too.
He's got the feet. Now, they're not the best. The kid from North Carolina State's got incredible feet, but he's not as big. So I would rather have that length. I mean, his arms are like 2 of mine together, The length, the feet, the size, the nastiness that he has.
And that makes you think.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
To me, that makes me think he's a tackle. I know he can play guard. I know he's done it before.
But you don't have you have a luxury, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And if you can't work out something with Cam and he won't sign the tag, then you
got a left tackle. Yep.
There's your left tackle.
Yeah,
Fine.
I totally agree with you there.
Fine. And then Little and Jawan will figure out the right tackle, and then maybe we draft a guard in the center. I don't know. You can look, if Barch is my left guard, I'm not sitting there going, I'll be like, all right, he's okay. We can make that work. Right? So it gives you some options if you need them. I would just hate for you to draft Hutchinson and then where do you play him? What's he going to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't see him as this stand-up pass rusher who's going to bend around that corner and get to the quarterback. He's not bull rushing anybody. His move of this, he does this. He grabs him, pulls him in. And that's the old college move, right? Because you're just stronger than the guy. You just grab him, throw him, play. I used to love that in high school when the guards would come out to block you. They'd be like 150 pounds. You'd be like, Ching, get out of here. What are you doing here? You should go play soccer. Throw them out of the damn way like they weren't even there. Obviously, that doesn't happen in the National Football League. Hey, I want to wrap it up. And no, I didn't wear this hat in honor of Bruce Arians, but how about Bruce Arians stepping down as the head coach? Hey, I don't feel like coaching. So I'm just going to go into the personnel side of things and keep my career going. Good for him. What a great career. And I tell you what, nothing against Byron Leftwich, but I think it's very telling that they went right to Todd Bowles and gave him a 4-year deal to be the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's pretty telling. Maybe they weren't as high on Byron as a head coach. Love him as a coordinator. Maybe not as a head coach, but good luck to Todd Bowles, who was in the running for the head coaching spot here. And we're glad we've got, the defense coordinator now, Mike Caldwell, from Tampa. So, but Bruce Arians stepping in. Brant Boer, my good friend who played here and has been coaching forever, he coached under or with Arians and Indy. And I remember him talking about him in Indy, like, this guy's the best. What a great guy, cool dude, knows the game, loves the game, passionate about the game, great game planner, great in everything, but I just always remember him saying that. So I've always been a fan of Bruce Arians just for that reason. Because, if one of my buddies says he's good people, and I believe in my buddy, then I believe that he's good people.
His former players pretty much all share that sentiment. They love him, dude.
I think he's just fair and honest, but he can be cool. He's not so stringent.
Yeah.
You gotta have a little flexibility, man. You gotta be like a little bit without that core of principle ever being, compromise. You got to still have that accountability, but your delivery has got to be a little bit different.
When this was probably 6 months ago, maybe something like that, LaShawn McCoy went on the I Am Athlete podcast.
Yeah.
With like Brandon Marshall and Chad Johnson on them.
Yep.
And
Freddie T's on that, isn't he? Or was?
He was.
Oh,
Yeah, and then Fred Taylor.
Great. I love Fred.
I know, me too. Fred and Channing left to start their own called The Pivot.
With
and that's
Ryan Clark,
With
right?
Ryan Clark, and that's what Jalen Ramsey was on.
Okay.
He was with them.
Okay.
But the other guys are still doing I Am Athlete.
Okay.
And they had LaShawn McCoy on.
Yep.
And that's where that clip came of him talking about Byron and like the incentives and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
And he also said in that same interview, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically, he was basically like, I've never been in an environment where the players were set up to succeed like the environment Bruce Arians made.
Yeah. Well, and they have. And, look, I don't know. I think you can lead a lot of people by just being genuine and care about them and want nothing. You got to serve them. I mean, you're the coach. You're not serving yourself. You're serving. Don't you interrupt my program. You're serving your players. I mean, that's your job. You're making them great, which in turn will make you look as great. Make sense? And it's like a brokerage house. The two main brokers can't hoard all the deals. You got to get your salespeople involved and serve them, like give them a taste so they want to go out. You know what I mean? You can't be competing with them. You've got to serve them and give them the path to success. That's what coaches do, right? You got your players. I'm here to make sure I get everything out of you, not for me, for you. Because when you win, it's an incredible thing.
Well, it makes
Period.
I think it makes you think, like, we've been saying for years now that, like, the Jaguars simply don't have enough talent. And that's true for a variety of reasons. They've let guys walk out the door. They haven't drafted well.
Yep.
The bad free agent deals, blah, blah, blah. There's a million reasons why. But then you look at, like, a team like the Bucs, and they're just loaded with talent all over the place, right? Everybody's good.
Yep.
And some of that is free agency. Some of that is, Tom freaking Brady coming. That's obviously a big part of it.
Yep.
But Leonard Fournette was, outcast here, basically tossed to the wolves. Yep. He's phenomenal down there.
Yep.
You think
and he came off a great year.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Like
that's true.
Bad year.
That's true.
Yep.
But it just makes you think, like.
But if J-Rob don't get her, we're happy with.
Of course, no, of course.
J-Rob,
right.
He's great.
Of course, it just makes you think, like, their entire team has so much talent everywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is just because they've picked up good players, they've drafted well. That's obviously part of it. But a lot of it, too, is how much of that is the fact that their head coach, because of that leadership you're talking about, has set them up to succeed.
Oh, totally. And I think Doug Peterson's a lot like that.
Agreed.
And I think players want to play with a guy or play for a guy like that.
And on the flip side, look at last year.
No, right.
Here.
Yeah, no.
Well,
that's part of it, And look, even with Coughlin, who I love, there were guys, I'm not going there. I don't like being coached like that. Okay. It's all good. You know what I mean? But I think players on the other side, I want to go play. Like Gruden at one time. Everyone wanted to play for Gruden. Chucky, maniac. Love him. High fire, loves football, wins, wants to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go play for those types of guys, and I think Doug Peterson has some of that in him. I think he's going to have a nice mix of veterans and rookies, and we're all going to coexist for one goal in mind: to win championships. May not happen in the first year, but I think we'll hopefully get there. All right, think we'll hopefully get. That's terrible. What is that? Like that's like what they call passive aggressive. It's not passive aggressive, but that just sounded terrible. I think we'll hopefully get there. Hell is that? It's Friday. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hey, if you get a chance, check out The Horse's Mouth. Let's see. We're airing on Saturday mornings on CW17. Catch us online as well. Don't forget, check out Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. They bring you today's show. They're my friends too, so it's always fun being able to promote your friend's business. They do it right. First class run operation. Open till 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. It says cigar lounge. It's just a lounge with cigar smoke in it. That's the way it is. I mean, they got live music. I'm telling you, it reminds me of Chicago. Reminds me of Old Town Chicago, with the blues and the jazz. Love that stuff, and you're going to love it too. Just right there on St. John's Bluff Road, just south of Beach and on the east side of St. John's Bluff. So I hope you check it out. You've been listening to Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast right here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Check out all the great content there, and including all the on-demand talent and content. Of course, on the Facebook Live with 1010XL, and streaming on the Relevant app, the group messaging chat app. Real live conversations through our interactive chat and our podcast and platform. One-touch technology. It's quite incredible. Right from your phone. I'm videoing this one. We'll post it. We'll post it on YouTube, of course, when Graham sends it to me. But until next time, stay safe and be cool. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace.